High RR trading or low RR trading? Which trading strategy is truly the best for prop firms and your personal account? This is a lot of questions that many people may be wondering all the time. Should I trade a high RR, low win rate trading strategy, or should I trade something that is low RR but very high win rate? Today I'll be answering this question as straightforward as possible from my experience trading both systems. Straight off the bat, from a mathematical perspective, a high RR trading system beats a low RR trading system out the water in terms of potential EV and upside in terms of the expectancy. Go to my website, essentialtradersuniversity.com, input your win rate and RR into my free trading calculator, by the way. If you just click on my website, it's on there, and it's going to give you a number. And that number that outputs is your expected value. And all that means is your true risk-adjusted performance of your trading strategy or system. So you can compare how good of a strategy or system is using that EV number that it outputs. And you'll notice that high RR has so much higher potential than a low RR system. When I say low RR system, I am mainly referring to anything below 2 RR, 1 RR. I wouldn't go below 1 RR ever, because if you use that calculator and look at the expectancy value, you'll notice that below 1 RR, even with a 90% win rate, your EV is not going to be high at all. I believe with if we're being realistic, an 80% win rate with a 1 RR average, I think is a 0.60 or 0.80 EV, but I'm pretty sure it's 0.60. On top of my head, I know 70% at 1-to-1 is 0.40, which is all right, but high RR systems like mine that I teach and trade every day is so much higher EV. It is 4x that. 1.6 is my average expected value. And on my prop firms is a little bit lower because I'm less picky with my steps that I take. But that's not the point. The point of the video is, if you want the best expectancy system, I go for a high RR system. However, this also doesn't factor in on paper versus live trading. In live trading, your emotions play a role in your results. And so if you are someone that's emotionally stable and you know you can handle a, let's say, 6 to 10 losing streak, given your risk management system as well, then I'd say 100% go for a high RR trading system. Obviously, make sure the win rate is not too low. Like 20%, 10% win rate is not very mentally. I can't even trade something that's 10% win rate, to be honest. I'd probably tilt before that, because you can lose probably 15, 20 trades in a row, given a 100 trade sample size. And keep in mind, this is just statistics. This is just math, probabilities. This is the truth. You know, even with a 50% win rate, if you look at the data in a probability chart, in a 50 trade sample size, you have a pretty high chance of losing 5 trades in a row. On the flip side though, that also means you have the same chance to win 5 trades in a row. So yes, both sides matter, but as we all know, losses hit way more than winners. A lot of people struggle with taking losses. Not as many people struggle with taking winners. You know, you're happy when you take a winner. You can get out the charts when you take a winner. But a lot of people struggle with leaving the charts when they take a losing trade. And that is obviously a sign of immaturity as a trader. If you can't walk away from a loss, it means you're not mature enough as a trader to take that loss and move on with your day. Can't let your trading P&L affect the rest of your day. It's easier said than done. I know, because I've done the same thing over and over again. But that is just the truth you have to accept. And if you really want this bad enough, you will accept that truth and not let your actions dictate who you are. So at the end of the day, if you can handle the drawdown, high RR all the way. Now, there is one benefit of a low RR high win rate system, and that is you can risk more per trade because your drawdown periods are less, because your losing streaks are smaller. You can double your risk, and therefore technically from a P&L perspective, risk, assuming the same risk percent or risk amount per trade, you can actually 2x your EV in a sense, realistically or relatively, if you just 2x your risk per trade. Because you have a higher RR system, you can afford to 2x your risk because you know your losing streak is a lot lower. So if you're someone that cannot handle losing streaks and you know you're that type of person, I'd highly recommend stay away from high RR trading strategies and focus on low RR, high win rate strategies. It's going to help you amount a lot easier to become profitable because your psychology aspect is going to be so much easier to manage. You're winning way more than you're losing, despite making less money. However, keep this in mind. When you're live trading, what are the two main pillars I always talk about that are important, that affect your P&L? It's your edge, aka your strategy, how well it performs, and your psychology. You need both to become profitable. You cannot miss one or the other. If you miss one or the other, you're not going to make it. Now, on paper, the person with the better strategy, that's better backtesting results, is more profitable from a performance standpoint. They're a better trader. That's what they say, right? But when you go to the live markets, psychology is the other part of the puzzle. So now if we look at who's a better trader, it's going to be typically the trader that has better psychology, because they can execute their edge flawlessly. And a trader with bad psychology won't be able to execute their edge perfectly or close to perfection. And one or two tilt trades, they're going to be in the deep red, while the other person that's consistent with their psychology and discipline in their system, they won't be. So the gist that I'm trying to make here, the conclusion I'm trying to make here, is figure out where your mindset is as a personal, from your personal experience. If you know you're someone that just cannot handle losing streaks, go high win rate, lower RR. Change and optimize. You don't have to change strategies. You can optimize and refine your current strategy so that it is higher win rate and RR decreases. And again, I do teach my strategy as a good balance of a good win rate. My win rate is about 60-65%, and my RR is about 3 to 4. But if you want something that's an even higher win rate than that, because you mentally can't handle losing streaks, you can optimize my strategy or refine it using what I taught you guys. I've taught you guys ways to increase the win rate with my strategy. The too long didn't read really is just like shorten your targets, man. Go for a very conservative TP that I talk about in the course in mentorship, and you will find your win rate to obviously go higher. You can achieve roughly around an 80% win rate if you go for it as a 1-to-1, taking 8+ setups with my strategy, maybe even higher than that. But like I said, I can handle more mental than, I'd say, a good amount of people. So I don't mind trading my higher RR system. But if you are someone that just can't handle losing streaks, no matter what you do, you just can never step away, I recommend optimizing and refining your current system. And if you can't get that current system to a higher win rate, figure out another strategy or develop something new and get it to your desired win rate that you want. Forget about the RR for now. Focus on the win rate first, because if you can build something that matches your personality, you can basically mimic, majority of times, your live results with your backtesting data. But if you cannot do that, and your personality and your mindset or your psychology doesn't match your strategies, statistics, and probabilities of your system, it's gonna be very difficult, man. Very difficult, bro, to stay consistent. You can have maybe a month of payouts, but how about the next month? How about the month after that? I'm gonna turn up the music a little bit. I wanna enjoy my little ride here today. But that's a key takeaway from me, guys. So first, learn about yourself. Then you go for which system you want to trade. High RR, low RR. High win rate, low win rate. There's nothing wrong with a low win rate, guys. There's plenty of people, traders out there with a 30% or lower win rate that are banking and milking these prop firms. they're taking money away from you guys that are failing these challenges. So don't think low win rate means unprofitability. It's matter not whether or not you can manage that low win rate when you're trading live. If you can psychologically handle that, perfect. That is just perfect. You will go very far in your trading. But if you can't, you will go very not far. Anyway, that's going to be it for me today. Talking about high RR versus low RR strategies. Another thing you want to keep in mind also is your frequency. I think that is important too. Some people like taking more trades a day. Some people want to just take one trade a day. Pick a frequency or optimize and work on your system to the point where you can handle the frequency. But I don't want you guys to focus on greediness. I would rather someone make 10 RR a month, but they can handle the drawdowns and the mental of that system, than someone that has a backtested 50 RR or 100 RR a month strategy, but they can't handle the mental drawdown when trading live. So they actually, instead of making 50 RR a month, you'd be surprised how much tilt and revenge trading can harm your account because of how many trades you take when you tilt and revenge trade. I don't know about you guys, but back when I would tilt and revenge trade, oh man, there'd be days to take 50 plus trades, 100 trades, and these 100 trades are not, majority are not even part of my system. They were emotional trades. So, like I said, gotta keep that in the back of your mind, guys. At the end of the day, it's you who will determine whether or not you become profitable. A mentor will help you speed up that process tenfold, for sure. I 100% believe that. Seen it with my own eyes. But you also are a part of that success equation. So yeah, 50 to 100 RR a month backtest. Well, guess what? If you can't mentally handle the mental drawdowns, it means nothing, and you can lose 100 RR from tilt trades. I promise you, if you guys start tracking the number of tilt trades you take and how much you see in your journal, in your P&L equity curve, how deadly, man, how negative, how big of a negative impact those tilt sessions go for. They affect your curve like crazy. If you could lose 100 R in a day, you can make 100 R in a day. Tilt trades are nasty, guys. They're nasty. Speaking from personal experience, and I'm sure many of you guys have experienced the same thing. Otherwise, you would not be profitable or unprofitable right now. Anyway, that's it for me today. Hope you guys do enjoy today's little segment, car talk, whatever. If you have questions for me that you want me to answer in my next video, let me know down below. I will be posting and going back to trade recaps, of course, and getting up to date with those. But yeah, it's gonna be it for me today, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.